That's a regular thing also, to check the heartbeat. And he couldn't find it. And then I was just so distraught by what had just happened. But my mum over here, who came with me, sitting down, she started crying. Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about my first pregnancy. A disclaimer, I'm not pregnant right now, and I'll be talking about my first and only pregnancy. Another disclaimer, pregnancy is different for everyone, I have to say that. Some women had pre-existing conditions before conceiving, some developed health conditions during pregnancy, or they might have had traumatic experiences or are single mums, etc., etc. For me, my story will be completely different, but I assume you've clicked on this video because you know me already and you'd like to know what happened, or you are a first-time mum and you're just curious to know someone else's story. If so, congratulations, and I wish you all the best for your pregnancy. So let's go to July 2011. I had been married for about 2 months to Malcolm, and I was in full-time work, as was he. I noticed my period was late, but I wasn't alarmed. I kind of thought I could be pregnant. I didn't really think anything major. I just thought, you know, what's the problem? I'm married, I've got family around me, I'm young. And I told my manager at the time that my period was late, and then she said, I think you're pregnant, because I had a stuffy nose, and apparently that's normal. Like, it's kind of like a cold, but it's just something else. I just remember her saying, you've got a stuffy nose and your period's late, you must be pregnant. I must have told Anna, my colleague at the time, and I just wanted to go and get a pregnancy test. So just before taking the pregnancy test, I popped in my mum's room and she was lying down in bed awake, and I said, I'm gonna take a pregnancy test. And then she was like, congratulations. And I was like, well, I haven't taken it yet. And then I don't know, maybe she just knew that I must be pregnant. So anyway, I took it and I was like, oh, the extra line is there. I would have told Malcolm first and then my mom. When my dad was home, I walked up to him, shook his hand and said, congratulations, you're going to be a granddad. We were all in shock because we were just married and then we were pregnant within the first 2 months, which turned out to be a blessing, to be honest. Call me crazy or call me disgusting, but I took that pregnancy test, and you know what a pregnancy test is, right? It's not pen on paper, it's like the test. And I took it to work and I showed it to my boss and my colleague, and they both were just excited for me. But the first thing my manager said was, I'm gonna miss you. And I said, what do you mean? And then I realized I'm gonna have to leave work at least for 6 months to a year, and then that's if I can make it back and stuff like that after having the baby. When you're a first-time mum, you don't even think about, oh, what am I going to do for work, or provisions, basically. One of my cousins told me, don't run up the stairs. So there's a tip, don't run, especially in the first trimester. Well, some of you might disagree with me. I would just suggest that to my close friends. So typical me, I like to research stuff. So I was on Google, I signed up to baby center updates. I really like reading that. They still send me stuff about my 5-year-old. I wasn't into that whole online community thing, but it might help you. I used to find answers to my stuff from those things. NHS websites, that's in the UK. Wherever you like to get your information from, I would suggest do it, because I'm not going to have all the answers, because I was researching what not to have, what to have. I remember asking my GP and he was just like, just carry on as normal. Register with a GP, you tell them you're pregnant and you tell them the date of your last period or when it last ended or something like that, because they calculate 40 weeks, I believe, to work out your due date. So keep a record of your period. Sickness, yes, 6 weeks to 12 weeks. I was vomiting a lot. Sometimes I wouldn't make it to the toilet. Sick in the car, I was sick on the bus, which was very unfortunate for the people around me. I'm so sorry. But when that happened, I was on the phone to Malcolm and I said, Malcolm, I think I'm going to be sick. And then it just happened on the bus, and then I was just so distraught by what had just happened that I had to get off the bus and walk home from there. And I was like, Malcolm! I had water with me. Always keep water with you, and keep a plastic bag that doesn't have holes in the bottom, because it's just gonna leak everywhere. I'm talking about vomit, sorry. Definite priority. And have snacks with you in your first trimester, definitely, because especially if you're sick and then you're suddenly hungry, and even if you're not sick, you're gonna need healthy snacks. So fruits and maybe grains. Articles are really interesting, especially the ones that show you how, like, what size your baby is, like the fetus and what's developing and the heartbeat. Everything was mind-boggling, and especially watching the videos. And because I was sick, I think I lost a lot of weight. Like, my face just changed. So anyway, when I was about 8 weeks pregnant, I had some spotting, which was blood. And I obviously thought, if I'm pregnant, I'm not meant to get a period. And I've heard about miscarriages, but when I researched it, it didn't match that. Like, I wasn't getting pain, it wasn't enough blood. I wanted to get it checked out. I went to the hospital. I think it was urgent care. So I got a scan done at 8 weeks, which is not normal. You normally get one at 12 weeks and 20 weeks. They put that cold gel on and roll that scanner on you. I looked, it was like a Pac-Man kind of shape, and there was a heart beating. 23-year-old me was like, wow, I can see the heartbeat. First of all, let me just say, baby was fine, you know, thank God. But my mum over here, who came with me, sitting down, she started crying. She started crying because she was just like, wow, that's my grandchild. I assume that's what she was thinking. So after that, you know, still being sick, and then we got up to 12 weeks, food would start to stay down and I wasn't sick as much. And then at 12 weeks, we got the normal scan. You have to drink so much water before you go and get your scan because it makes it clearer, I assume. I went in and the lady said, you didn't drink enough. Everything was like developed, the head, the arms, body and the feet, and it was just so cool to see it. Like, wow, that's inside me. And then she said, do you consent to doing these additional kind of tests? I think one included putting a needle in to check the neck, if it's a short neck, and I was not okay with that, so I declined. I didn't want that, and they were just like, it's preventative and it's good, it's a good thing to do, to, you know, to be sure. And I was like, whatever happens, we're keeping the baby, so it's fine. We bought a couple of prints and showed it to everyone. So if I hadn't mentioned, I chose to get my regular checkups at the GP rather than to go to a hospital, because they're a bit out of the way for me and I wasn't driving. And I went at 16 weeks. We always get our blood pressure checked, so make sure you wear something that's able to either you know, just reveal part of the arm, basically. That's another tip. The doc was trying to find a heartbeat, because that's a regular thing also, to check the heartbeat, and he couldn't find it. I wasn't worried. Then he got the scanner out. He could see that the baby was moving, and I'm sure he could see the heartbeat, and it was just really nice to get to see my baby again. Progressing, the belly was coming out more. I remember going to my friend Mandeep's school at the time, where she's a teacher, and she let me come to the fireworks display, and when the fireworks were going off, I could feel my baby. It was like she was doing somersaults, even though she was only 5 months, so you can't actually feel, you know, the kicks and all of that, but I could just feel something each time, and I just thought, oh, she can hear it. And it was just like those bonding moments, and I'm sure a lot of you don't know about that story. So we went to our 20-week scan. We got to find out the gender. I've heard some Asian families, they don't want to know, but I'm not going to comment on that anyway, because I really wanted a girl, in all honesty. When the obstetrician, when he told us it's a girl, I was so happy, so relieved, and so excited as well. And then he was like, you know, mostly it is a girl, because I think sometimes it can be read wrong. One other thing he said while he was checking and he was looking at the screen, he was like, good face. And I was like, oh, which is cute, like, oh, my baby's gonna be a little cutie. But I don't know, you can tell that through one of these scans. So coming to the end of my pregnancy story, we had a hospital folder which you had to bring every single time. I think you have to hand it in when you give birth, so if you want any copies of the pages, I would suggest you photocopy them for your own records. That's another tip. 37 weeks, so the baby's head was down, the doc had felt it, and I was like, oh, that's good. A natural, healthy kind of way for the baby to come out. I believe I started getting back pain. The weight is pulling down on your tummy, you're gonna get this kind of pain, so I would start getting pain. I don't think it was intense, but I was getting some pain. I remember bringing my cushion to church and like just sitting with it. I did have a lot of emotions like thrown in the air, mostly just crying. And you also have to plan for, do you want a water birth or epidural or gas and air, home birth? I don't know if you can plan for all of those, but you can choose. I wanted a water birth, and you'll have to wait till my labour delivery story video to see if that came true. Also, near the end of your pregnancy, your tummy, like from being a nice round kind of shape like this, it will drop, and I don't know if I explained that very well. You also get this line, this kind of dark line from your belly button to the end of your tummy. You might get stretch marks, you can just keep oiling it. And one last thing, I used to play a lot of music to my tummy in the hope that she would pick up this interest and this passion and love for singing or playing an instrument. And so even if you're not thinking about it, I think there's no harm in playing positive, good music to your unborn child. If you know Bella, it's really paid off. That's another tip. That's pretty much everything to do with my pregnancy, from the very start of learning what happened all the way till the very last kind of few weeks of my pregnancy. So in the next pregnancy related video, I'll let you know how I got on with the delivery. Well, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment about your experiences of pregnancies. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks to everyone who's recently subscribed. Hope you're enjoying the content on this channel. And if you have any suggestions for videos or ones that you want to see or know about, comment below. And I'll see you guys in the comments and in the next video. Bye!